Yes, sir, man. Hope y'all have a good Christmas, man. Had a good Christmas, I should say, man. You feel me? I ain't getting off a Christmas, but it what it is. Feel me? I'm thankful still be able to make this video right now, you feel me? So you can have fun, you know. Then I'm going to make the video, Ohio State versus Georgia for the 156 people that probably gonna see this video. Some shit, anyway. It what it is, you know what I'm talking about. Ohio State versus Georgia, man. That gonna be the prediction video, cause you already know. You feel me? I said I was gonna do the Michigan TCU, probably 30. Cause like I say, always somebody get arrested coming off the Christmas holidays. Some do some stupid, get drunk, and get a DUI or something. Then they get suspended. So I'm gonna just wait. You feel me? See this ride. He might get PTSD from Jalen Carter. He might drink and try to miss a game on purpose or something. I don't know. You feel me? Keely Ringo might try to get drunk and avoid Marvin Harrison Jr. or whoever. I don't know, because he need to have a big game, because he just need a big game, because Keely Ringo, man, he's still going to be a first-round pick, but he need to play like a first-round pick, and he need to play like his recruiting ranking. You feel me? Dude was like one of the top 10 highest ranked cornerbacks ever, and he haven't played like he hasn't lived up none of the hype, like a Jalen Ramsey, Patrick Peterson, Vernon Hargreaves, all them dudes, you feel me? He hasn't lived up to the hype like them, Either way, Darius Stingley Jr., Kamar Lassiter the best cornerback on our team, being real. He at least want to get talked about, because he was a low 4-star. He was a 3-star at one time, and he shot up, went to a 4-star, Either way, if he was a 5-star, like if he and Keely Ringo flip recruiting rankings, if Kamar Lassiter was a 5-star like Keely Ringo, Kamar Lassiter get way more talked about. But this ain't a Keely Ringo bad video. I like Keely Ringo, It's just frustrating, because his potential, but it's like the dude was, I don't know. This video is about, like I said, I hope y'all had a good Christmas, Either way, this video about, I'm trying not to make it too long. Know me, I get talking for about 30 minutes. But, can Ohio State beat, well, I ain't gonna say can, because they can, but will Ohio State beat Georgia? That's more better. I mean, you could beat, talent on talent. Georgia and Ohio State got similar talent, so they can beat Georgia. But will Ohio State beat Georgia? That's the main thing. I mean, let's go down the list. In big games, Ohio State disappoint lately. I mean, since 2019, let's say in 2019, because that when Brown Day came, Ohio State had the most all-around team. I mean, that quarterback, let's go for quarterback. Justin Fields, Joe Burrow. I'm going to just go with LSU, So, Justin Fields, Joe Burrow. Running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire and J.K. Dobbins. I mean, very, very even, And J.K. Dobbins could have possibly won Heisman, you feel me? If it weren't for Joe Burrow, and Chase Young them, and Justin Fields, you feel me? He like J.K. Dobbins that year would have won the Heisman this year, if you get what I'm saying. So J.K. Dobbins had a very good year, wide receiver goes to LSU, of course. Jamar Chase, just I mean, he really go to even go to, tight end goes to Ohio State, offensive line, I mean, LSU won an award, but Ohio State had a good offensive line then too. But defense, LSU had Kayvon Chason, whatever. But Chase Young was you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Chase Young, they had three of the good four linebackers. Well, LSU had Patrick Queen, but all around it was, Ohio State had the best all around linebacker, front seven. Chase Young. I mean, then secondary. I mean, secondary was tough because like Darius Stingley, dude was the best cornerback, that year. On the other side, you had Christian Fulton, Kerry Vincent Jr. But Ohio State had Jeff Okudah, Sean Wade in the slot, was the best slot defender, with Damon Arnett. So, like I say, what Chase Young put Ohio State over the edge as the best all-around team. Because Chase Young, nobody had a Chase Young in 2019. Like, either way, you know what I'm saying? They went up on Clemson. Then they fumbled the bag. 2020, they just, like I said, I still stand on that. Georgia was a better team than Ohio State in 2020. They would have beat Ohio State simple. With JT Daniels, definitely. It's been a close game. JT Daniels, I think, was like 10 points better than Ohio State. But it had their revenge games in Clemson because Dabo Swinney was talking about Ohio State was the 12th best team. Then it just had exploded. And, every deep ball Justin Fields threw was a touchdown. And they got the job done. But they put it all on the line. Then play Alabama. They had nothing left in the tank. They got embarrassed. Run out of stadium. And Devontae Smith got hurt early third quarter. Jalen Waddle was out there lipping Ryan. It was just embarrassment. 2021 got pushed around by Oregon at home. Then you feel me, struggled against Penn State, at home. And then, like I say, the moral of the story, like I said, going into this year, of course they got dominated by Michigan. Like I said, going to the story this year, all season, I said, Minister Sports, I come in, all the time. Either way, I said Ohio State offense gets all this hype, but when they play a team on defense that know what they doing, they struggle to score 30 points. Let's say Notre Dame showed that, Penn State literally gave the game away. Iowa showed that. Like I said, Iowa had a better chance to keep Ohio State under 30 if they just punted the ball instead of throwing right to them, interceptions, in their own touchdown. You feel me? Then, of course, Michigan, they didn't even score 25 points versus Michigan. So, you get what I'm saying? In Ohio State, they stat pad, they dropped, 77 on Toledo. They stat pad and get their stats high, so high. They was like, oh man, Ohio State really doing something. Like they number one in scoring, number one in this. But when you look at like Ohio State against top 25 defenses, they look average. You feel me? They look like a regular average top 10, top 15 offense. You feel me? But when you go as a whole, you're like, oh man, they number one in this, and they got this, like you feel me? Like Wisconsin, they dropped 50 something. It's like, but those teams not good. And Iowa just look horrible. So you feel what I'm saying? And Penn State just gave the game away. JTT had a monster game. I ain't gonna take no away from him. But you get what I'm saying? And I've been saying all season that CJ Stroud will not win a national championship in Ohio State unless he run. And it's crazy to think that USC fumbled the bat. USC did exactly what I told them not to do. And they let Ohio State get in the playoffs. Now, it's the crazy fact that, like I said, Michigan and Georgia are the only teams that deserve it to lose, to even lose a game right now. Like, I just wish, like, the national championship would just be Michigan and Georgia and do away with the semifinals. Because no team besides Georgia and Michigan deserve a national championship, if we being real. Like, if Ohio State lost by 3 points against Michigan, okay. Or 6 points against Michigan, okay. Off some crazy kick return touchdown, a punt return touchdown. Some crazy jump. Okay, but they got embarrassed at home. They don't deserve a playoff spot, especially when, like, they didn't look good all year. And it's crazy because people like, oh, Ohio State, like I said, Ohio State by far. Yeah, you know the motto. I ain't gonna try to talk too much because the game ain't played yet. You know, and some crazy junk can happen. Like, you know, Georgia could lose against Ohio State. Then, you know, but after the game, if Georgia win, you know, I'm talking all that cash money junk. You know, everything I've been seeing all season is gonna be brought up in that video. So, like I say, will Ohio State beat Georgia? Back to that. You know, see that Stroud. Dude just gonna have to play. Like, dude gonna have to get, you don't have to get shot up with some drugs, you know. Because if he play like the same CD Stroud that he just want to stand in the pocket and drop dimes, that's not going to work against Georgia. Unless the offensive line at Ohio State just play out of their mind and they have a good game plan for Jalen Carter and the edge rushers can't do nothing. You know, giving Ohio State like 7 seconds in the pocket or something. Or Ohio State wide receivers just win every 50-50 ball, you know. Then, you know, Ohio State definitely got a chance. You know, but thing is, it's hard because, like, Georgia, it's already hard running on Georgia. You know, TreVeyon Henderson, I mean, he ain't really did good this year anyway. You know, dude been falling every time he get a wide open hole, he fall down. You know, Mike Williams is a good running back, but more of the story is dude like 5'8", you know, 203 pounds. He gonna get tossed around. You know, very good running back now, don't get me wrong. Like I say, running backs like Blake Corum and all that, they, you know, those 5'8", little shifty running backs, you know, definitely with Ohio State running back. They don't really throw to running backs, you know, like that. So, I don't think Mike Williams going to do much against Georgia. I mean, unless he just get a wide open crease and, you know, he's screaming for 70 yards, make his stats look better, you know. But Ohio State struggled to run the ball. Georgia's the best team against rushing. Now, Jalen Carter, y'all know what he gonna do. You know, unless Ohio State knock him out the game or something, like Missouri did. But C.J. Stroud, like I say, C.J. Stroud gonna have to have a game in his life, you know, against Georgia, and it's hard to expect C.J. Stroud just had a game in his life against the best team he has ever played in his career. You know, definitely against a Kirby Smart, who he has like 27, 28 days to prepare. You know, in Atlanta at that, they're going to be like 70% Georgia fans, 30% Ohio State fans. So it's going to probably be like 45,000 Georgia fans there, like 20,000 Ohio State fans. You know, something like that. Or 17,000 Ohio State fans. Either way, it's going to be pretty light. You know, you come to Atlanta, you know, we want this back-to-back national championship. When all year Georgia been pushed to the side. Like I said, all year Georgia, all season it was like, oh, Ohio State, Alabama, then Georgia. You know, it's a gap between those two, then 13. Start the season, you know, Georgia, it still had Alabama, you know, and Ohio State over Georgia. Then, you know, fast forward, Tennessee was over Georgia. Tennessee and Ohio State was over Georgia, you know. Then people still think Michigan over Georgia, you feel me? So Georgia really ain't got the shit all year. Coming to Atlanta, you know. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a monster. Like, he's the closest. Like, him. You watch him and George Pickens. Like, he is George Pickens with discipline. That's all he is. Like, Marvin Harrison Jr. not gonna fight nobody, I don't think. You know, he's not gonna do crazy stuff. You know, I don't think he gonna cuss out coaches and stuff like that, like George Pickens will. You know, like I said, he's a disciplined version of George Pickens. He's what George Pickens should have been at Georgia, but George Pickens had all George Pickens thing. But it's George Pickens. Like, dude, just give him the ball and just, you know, you feel me? Like, George Pickens is George Pickens, you know. But, you know, like I said, what gets me, Ohio State wide receivers, like I said, all season, they have yet shown they can beat man coverage. Well, get what Georgia is. 80% man coverage, 20% zone coverage. Emeka Egbuka, he's very good wide receiver, very talented. But he gonna have to try to get open versus Keely Ringo and Kamar Lassiter. Julian Fleming is an average wide receiver. No, he's an average wide receiver. Like, simple. I mean, it what it is. Like, I mean, he just is what he do. Hasn't lived up to his ranking. You know, by far, he definitely haven't lived up to his ranking. Ladd McConkey is a better wide receiver than him. And Ladd McConkey was a low 3-star or a mid 3-star. You know, he what it is. Tight ends, I don't have no, you feel me? Like, we seen multiple tight ends better than Ohio State. Cade Stover good, but we not scared of Cade Stover. You know, and Ohio State very rarely passes. I mean, they don't really pass tight ends anyway. I mean, sure, they'll throw pass to a tight end when they up 30 points to make his stats a little better. No, but in crunch time, prime time, they don't really throw the tight ends. You know, so I ain't really worried about Cade Stover. Offensive line has been shaky for Ohio State. It what it is. Matt Jones, whoever, gonna get abused by Jalen Carter. Fast forward defense, you know, Ohio State has been struggling to guard a slot all year. Guess who's gonna be in the slot? Brock Bowers and possibly Aaron Smith. And Aaron Smith and A.D. Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell's back. No, dude got 27 days to get healthy. Aaron Smith got another 27 days to get healthy. So, I'm like, Ohio State, Cam Brown and, you know, Denzel Burke. You know, Cam Brown have been having a pretty good season. You know, Denzel Burke been on and off. But when I tell you, the offense run through Darnell Washington. If you actually watch Georgia, Darnell Washington is an excellent old lineman. So Ohio State gonna have to man up. they gonna have to get tough. Cause when I tell you, man, Georgia's gonna come for 4 quarters, man. Like, Georgia start off fast. Like, Georgia starts off fast. Like, they get up. Like, just you watch Georgia in big games. They get up. Like, we lost to Alabama both times. We went up early on Alabama. You know, we went up 13, 14 points on Alabama. We lost both of them. You know, we went up. So we went on Florida. We went up 14-0. You know, then I think Stetson Bennett separated his shoulder back in 2020. You know, and then Florida came back. What it is? Well, Clemson game, you know, we didn't really do nothing versus Clemson. You know, it was a defensive game. Michigan, last year, as shown, we went up early. Yeah. Game was over with in the first quarter. You know, you feel me? Either way, you know, Oregon game this year. South Carolina, you feel me? Georgia wouldn't start off fast. You know, Tennessee game, LSU game. The game was over at halftime. So you feel me? So Georgia start off fast. Ohio State starts off slow. Tennessee, like I say, Tennessee offense is a simple offense, but it's hard to stop because, like I say, you got Hendon Hooker, who could give you 70 to 100 rushing yards, not scared to lower his shoulder for a red zone touchdown. See this try not. And they catch you lacking because they hike the ball so fast. So a big play can happen any moment if you're not communicating. Now, if you can communicate well, you know, then you know you could do pretty good against Tennessee offense. You know, but it's very hard to. You know, Ohio State offense is a make you think for 4 quarters offense. You feel me? That's the difference now. Like you feel me? Like Ohio State is a legit make you think for 4 quarters offense. Ryan Day can gotta make you think for 4 quarters. But the fact that CJ Stroud, like he, like, you feel me, like he just you know, he's not a threat like a Bryce or Hendon Hooker when the play breaks down. Like when Ohio State offense is on schedule and everything go their way, they deadly. But if they go like 2 or 3 drives, and you feel me, like if some break down or something, like a wide receiver trip down, whatever, or offensive lineman, misses block, it's a wrap. Like C.J. Stroud not gonna do nothing to make the play better. You feel me? Unless wide receivers just make a crazy kid like Marvin Harrison Jr. or something. Nonetheless, Ohio State gotta guard Brock Bowers, because you're not gonna stop him. Just guard him. You gotta stop Darnell Washington, who can run you over in the block or run you over in the pass game. And like I said, Stetson Bennett hasn't ran really since the Auburn game. So Georgia been hiding back. You got A.D. Mitchell coming back, who you can't check him. You got Aaron Smith getting healthy. You can't catch him. You got Kendall Milton, who getting better and better, who running like his job on the line. Kenny McIntosh, legit running back, break you out your ankles. You got Deja Ellis, the vision man, one cut vision and go. You got Branson Robinson, the just weigh you down running back, like you just give him a snap or two when the defense already tired, see if he can make, can open up some running lanes for Kenny McIntosh or somebody. You feel me? So Ohio State, man, y'all coming to Atlanta, man. Y'all gonna have a tough time against Georgia. Like, this game could either be it's 3 options. Georgia could either blow Ohio State out, Georgia could win in a close game, or Ohio State could win. Because I don't see Ohio State blowing Georgia out. I don't see none of that. So it's 3 options. Like I say, C.J. Stroud gonna have to play like the craziest game. He gonna have to play the game of his life, man. Let's just see what it is. Like, it's gonna be ugly. Talk more about it, man. Go Dogs, baby.